All right, Dr. Gavin, are you there?
All right.
Very good.
Absolutely.
How are you doing today? So
I'm doing
we
great to be here with you guys today.
yes, we've got a little little interference. We've got some fanfare and allegro going right now in the background. We've got a group warming up. So, what can you tell us about the benefits of festivals like the Lord Sutherland Wind Festival?
When we do these, the technology, I think I got your question. We just talked about the benefit of these kinds of events. And,
Yes.
there's so many, it's hard to know where to start. I can say that, you know, with the educational process being what it is, having these kinds of events to have that you're going to be sitting in a Saturday in March in Fresno with your band in front of a great audience and a great group of clinicians and judges, that's a great goal. So you can work backwards from that and just take the students through the process in a way that, allows for a sense of accomplishment to be achieved on a day like today. That's one of the clearest and most obvious benefits to these kinds of things. And hard on the music, the parent support that comes along with that is just so imperative to having a great program, and everybody gets to get together on a great Saturday like today or Friday like yesterday and uh, see what's going on and hear each other. And that's the other huge benefit. A festival like this differs from the concerts that we may put on in our own backyard, in that the students actually have an opportunity for two experiences that they're not going to get in their own hometown. One is hearing other groups. And when you hear other groups, you have the opportunity to appreciate what they're doing, to assess what they're doing, and, to develop a critical and positive ear. And then to aspire in many cases to say, man, that's what this college group is doing, or man, that's what this high school group is doing, or man, that's what this middle school group is doing. And to really get a better understanding of the tasks at hand when it comes to playing music, and especially in the band setting.
What can directors and students do to maximize the benefit of these experiences, especially when there's a clinic involved?
I believe the question was, what can they do to maximize the benefit? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think coming into it with an open mind, and making sure that you realize, you plan for it. You have all of the preparation that goes up into this kind of a thing. Of course, obvious early on, you pick great literature for this kind of an event. Maybe you have some guest clinicians come in, and just, the kind of thing that we gradually lead so that everything makes today's performance the peak musical moment of this journey. And that we can share that with a large audience is very exciting. The other benefits, just in terms of getting the most out of these kinds of experiences, these bands come from all over to a very cool facility and a very cool place, and making sure that they get a little bit of time there to enjoy that. You're out of your hometown today. You get to see some places you might not normally get to see, and experience some things you might not normally get to experience. And all of that just, culminates into a very positive and memorable experience, both for the students and for the teachers and for everybody in the audience.
Excellent, excellent. One of the things that we see a lot is, I work with festivals and I was in the travel industry for a while. And one of the things that we see a lot is a hesitancy for administrators to let the groups out of school for something like this. What can you suggest to a music teacher who is needing some help kind of dealing with that?
In terms of speaking to the administrators about the positives of this, I mean, our goal as educators is to create worldly citizens. We are supposed to both, educate young people and take them and look at how that education applies in a broader sense in the bigger world. And getting away from campus and getting into these kinds of experiences does that. As I mentioned, you get to see some different places, but you get to hear some different ensembles. When a group is playing, the Holt's first suite, and they're playing it really well, and they feel good about it, and they feel like, man, we've done the most we can do with this. And then they go and they hear the Fresno State, wind ensemble play it. Maybe they change what their perspective of amazing is. And it's just so hard to do that in the vacuum of the high school band room. Nothing compares to live music, nothing, when we know that. And we can hear recordings, but when we see actual human beings sitting on a stage sharing music live in front of us, it can allow us to elevate our expectations of ourselves. And when we get the students into that place where they're the ones elevating the expectations, then we can have some really special opportunities. And I think explaining to administrators that level of value, that it's something almost unattainable just sitting in the classroom. I mean, any time that we get a chance to go see a great play, hear great music, even watch great sporting events, everything that we do where we can engage, human activity in a live setting away from where we normally hang out, it's just so positive. And I think that's I know the best administrators I had really were on board with that. And they took a little coaching, especially when it comes to some of the things that we like to do in band. But a lot of them are open-minded because ultimately their calling in life is to be there to get kids exposed to the world so they can have a great impact on it.
Wait. Those are excellent points, and you're right. It can be very easy to fall kind of into the trap of when you spend the time in the band room, that's the end of the band world, and you want to make sure that they understand that there's more beyond that.
Absolutely, and forgive me, you cut out just at the end there. I picked up the part about, there's more to than what we experienced just in the band room, and that's so true in all walks of life. And I'm going to go ahead and kudos to you guys. What you do in this idiom, in this setting where you have these webcasts, you're allowing people to show things. You guys do a great job bringing that to them, and not making them get on a plane, but giving them motivation to get on a plane next year. Because again, yeah, concert band especially. And it's funny because when we're talking about marching band in the fall, so often we see other groups or we hear other marching groups, but rarely get to hear and experience other groups in that setting. So these kinds of events that bring those opportunities to
Okay, very good. Well, Dr. Russell Gavin, Baylor University, thank you for your time today. We enjoyed talking with you, and our concerts are about to start, so we need to go.
very welcome.